Who needs to suffer when I have an ATM machine? I don't cook. I order. The last time I cooked, the kitchen almost caught fire. That's when I knew soft life was my calling. I'm allergic to suffering.
Welcome to Shishi Fairy Tales.
But life was quietly watching. Her name is Maureen.
Maureen loved soft life more than anything. She was beautiful, stylish, and always smelling like expensive perfume. She hated stress, hated sweat, and hated lifting a finger. When Michael, her fiancé, proposed, she shouted with joy. He lived in the same city, had a big house, and worked abroad most of the year. Michael smiled and said, "Move into my house. Stop paying rent. Your office is closer. Just promise me one thing. Please take care of the house." Maureen nodded fast and promised with a sweet smile. The day Michael traveled back abroad, Maureen moved in happily. Rent money became shopping money. Cleaning money became perfume money. Every morning she dressed for work, looked breathtaking, and covered every smell with makeup and 6 different perfumes. But inside the house, dirt was growing like grass. Dirty plates slept on the floor. Old food waved at rats. Cockroaches held meetings. Ants marched freely. The bedsheet was tired of being dirty. Maureen always answered Michael's video calls on the balcony. She laughed loudly and lied boldly. "Baby, the house is shining," she said. "I just finished cleaning." She even quit her job when Michael started sending her monthly upkeep. "Who needs to suffer," she bragged, "when I have an ATM machine?" Every 2 months she traveled to Dubai, Maldives, or Paris. She returned broke, but never worried. One afternoon, Michael called with a worried voice. His mother, Mama Grace, was sick. Her phone was spoiled, and she needed help. She lived in the same city. Michael begged Maureen to go. Maureen frowned, then smiled sweetly. "I'm happy to help my future mother," she lied. She rushed to the salon, fixed long nails and hair, sprayed perfume without bathing, packed bags, and left the dirty house smiling. Maureen did not know that promises, like dirt, always come back to be seen. Outside, neighbors whispered. Inside, flies danced. Time ticked quietly. Money flowed easily. Truth slept uneasily. Soon, love would be tested, lies would trip, and a lazy promise would meet a patient match, waiting, watching, and preparing a lesson gentle enough for a child, yet strong enough to change a heart forever today. Maureen arrived at Mama Grace's mansion like a queen visiting a village. She rolled her small suitcase into the house, looking around with sharp eyes. The house was big, quiet, and neat. Mama Grace lay weak on the couch, smiling gently. "Welcome, my daughter," she said softly. Maureen forced a smile, bent slightly, and replied, "Mama, I'm here to take care of you." The first 2 days, Maureen did not enter the kitchen. She ordered food from outside. Rice, chicken, shawarma, pizza. She ate well and left Mama Grace small portions. She did not sweep. She did not wash clothes. She did not clean the toilet. Every morning, she sat in front of the mirror, fixing lashes, touching makeup, and spraying perfume. Bathing was optional. Perfume was compulsory. Mama Grace watched quietly. On the 3rd day, Mama Grace called her gently. "My daughter, I need white soup and new medicine. I don't have cash, and I haven't reached my son." Maureen looked at her, then looked around the big house. She laughed small. "Mama, you live in a mansion like this, and you're saying you don't have money?" Mama Grace kept quiet. Maureen continued, "This family is known for wealth. Please don't pretend. Take care of yourself so you don't die and start stressing people." Mama Grace begged again. "Please help me cook white soup." Maureen sighed loudly, went out, and returned with bread, Coke, and pain relief medication. "Eat this first," she said. "I don't want you lying against me." Slowly, Mama Grace's house began to change. Plates stayed unwashed. Trash waited too long. Clothes piled up. The house started smelling like Maureen's old apartment. One afternoon, Maureen looked at herself in the mirror and smiled. "Maureen, You're smarter than her. Your money is for saving. Her money is for spending. She hid fried rice, pizza, and drinks in her room fridge. When Mama Grace asked for help bathing, Maureen frowned. Mama, you're smelling. Go and bath. The sick woman asked for assistance. Maureen returned with cheap perfume, sprayed the room and Mama Grace heavily, and said, "At least I'm sharing my perfume. I'm not stingy." Mama Grace cried quietly, covering her nose. Maureen smiled proudly, believing perfume could replace kindness. She did not know someone was watching from far away, listening carefully, counting lies, and learning who truly cared. By the fourth day, Mama Grace's house no longer felt like a home. It felt tired. The floor was dusty. The kitchen smelled strange. Maureen moved around like a visitor in a hotel. She woke up late, sat on the sofa, crossed her legs, and watched her favorite shows about rich women fighting and traveling. She laughed loudly while Mama Grace coughed softly in her room. Whenever Michael called, Maureen changed her voice. She sounded caring and hardworking. "Baby, I cook for Mama every day," she lied. "I clean the house. I help her bathe. I even sleep late because of her." Michael felt relieved and sent more money. "Please take good care of her," he said. Maureen smiled and replied, "Don't worry. I'm here." But each time Michael asked to speak with his mother, Maureen had an excuse ready. "She's sleeping. She stepped out. She's bathing." Michael trusted her. After all, she was his fiancée. One morning, Maureen suddenly stood up. "Let me cook today," she said. "My kind heart must not stop." She entered the dirty kitchen, confused by pots and spoons. Oil spilled. Fire rose. Smoke filled the room. Neighbors shouted. The food burnt badly. The soup turned black. Maureen coughed, waved smoke away, and served the burnt food proudly. Mama Grace looked at it and shook her head. She could not eat it. Maureen rolled her eyes. "So you're refusing food now?" she complained. That night, Mama Grace cried quietly and prayed. The next day, Maureen left the house early. She did not tell Mama Grace where she was going. She went to a hospital far away. Michael had told her he would return by December. Maureen wanted to impress him. She decided to do a liposuction to look like the trending ladies online. She used the money Michael sent for Mama Grace's medicine and some savings. "This is investment," she told herself. After the surgery, Maureen rested, healed, and traveled again. Paris, Dubai, Maldives. She showed off pictures with friends who competed in looking rich. Mama Grace stayed alone. No food. No medicine. No check-in. Maureen believed lies were cheap and love was automatic. She forgot that truth waits patiently. Far away, Michael started noticing silence. Soon, silence would turn into footsteps. And the house of lies would open its doors to a surprise nobody expected. Weeks passed, and Maureen lived like a queen with no kingdom. She healed from her surgery, took pictures, traveled again, and laughed loudly with her friends. Every time money finished, she sent Michael a sweet message. "Baby, Mama's medicine finished. Baby, the hospital bill increased. Baby, she needs special food." Michael sent money each time, trusting her completely. But one night, something changed. Michael tried calling Mama Grace again. No answer. He called Maureen. No answer. He sent messages. Silence. His heart became heavy. He remembered how his mother used to call him every evening, even when sick. Now, days had passed without her voice. Michael decided to act. He booked a flight without telling Maureen. He wanted to surprise his fiancée and see his mother with his own eyes. Maybe they are resting, he told himself. But deep inside, worry was growing. When Michael arrived in the city, he went straight to his house. The gate was wide open. The gateman's small house looked abandoned. No light. No sound. Michael paid the driver and dragged his suitcase inside. The smell hit him first. A heavy, angry smell. Like a place forgotten. Inside the living room, he froze. Banana peels rested on the television. Rats jumped happily on the couch. Cockroaches climbed the walls. Dirty plates formed small mountains. Clothes were scattered everywhere. Michael whispered, "Does anyone still live here?" He walked into the bedroom. Maureen lay on the bed comfortably. Her body was bigger than before. Her makeup was smudged, her lashes were still fixed, and wigs were neatly lined against the wall. She farted loudly in her sleep. "Maureen!" Michael shouted. She jumped up, stretched lazily, and smiled. "Baby, you're back." She rushed forward to hug him. A strong smell came from her mouth, and Michael gently turned his face away. Shocked, he stepped back and stopped. His eyes followed a rat as it ran across the sofa. "Maureen," he said carefully. "Why are there rats and cockroaches in my house?" Maureen yawned from the bedroom doorway. "Oh, those," she said casually. "Babe, they're harmless." Michael stared at her. "Harmless?" She smiled, bent down, and pointed. "Just look at that beautiful one over there." Before Michael could react, Maureen lifted a rat and held it up proudly. "See? So cute." Michael gasped. "Maureen, drop that thing." She giggled and dropped it. The rat ran off. He looked around the room again, sadness filling his eyes. "Why is the house in this condition?" he asked quietly. "Have you been living here like this? Or did you abandon the house? What is going on?" Maureen laughed nervously. "The gateman left without telling me," she said quickly. "I just came back from the supermarket. I was about to clean." Michael stared at her. "And why haven't you been picking my calls?" he asked. "I called you many times." Maureen adjusted her wig and shrugged. "Network has been bad," she replied. "And sometimes my phone battery dies. You know how it is." Michael said nothing. He only sighed. Then he looked at her body again and frowned. "What happened to your body?" he asked slowly. "What happened to your bum?" Maureen forced a laugh. "Oh, that. I've been eating a lot of chocolate and burgers lately. That's why it increased." Michael shook his head gently. "But you had a perfect hourglass figure," he said. "You should have been content with what you had." Maureen shifted uneasily, farted again, and adjusted her wig. Michael swallowed hard. "And my mother?" he asked. Maureen froze. At that moment, Michael's phone rang. It was a neighbor. "Sir," the voice said shakily, "your mother is very sick. She's alone." Michael dropped his bag. The house fell silent, and in that silence, Maureen finally understood something she had never planned for. The ATM had stopped smiling. Michael did not shout. He did not cry. He only picked up his car keys and walked out of the house. Maureen followed him, confused and afraid. "Baby, where are we going?" she asked, adjusting her wig. Michael said nothing. His silence was louder than anger. They drove fast to Mama Grace's house. When Michael pushed the door open, the smell of sickness and dirt rushed out. The house looked tired, like it had been crying for days. Mama Grace lay weak on the bed, thinner than before, her eyes dull but still kind. When she saw Michael, tears rolled down her cheeks. "My son," she whispered. Michael rushed to her side and held her hands. They were cold. "Mama, I'm here," he said, his voice shaking. He looked around the room and understood everything at once. Maureen stood by the door, frozen. Mama Grace slowly turned her face toward her. "My daughter," she said softly, "you said you were helping me." Her voice was gentle, but it cut deep. Michael looked at Maureen. "You told me you cooked every day," he said calmly. "You told me you cleaned. You told me you cared." Maureen opened her mouth, but no words came out. Her lies piled up in her throat like dirty plates. Michael called a doctor and rushed his mother to the hospital. He paid for everything himself. He stayed by Mama Grace's bed, feeding her, cleaning her, and praying quietly. Maureen sat in the corner, scrolling through her phone, feeling small for the first time in her life. That night, Michael spoke. "Maureen," he said, "I gave you comfort, trust, and money. I asked for care, not perfection." He paused. You chose laziness. You chose lies. Maureen began to cry. I didn't mean it, she said. I just wanted soft life. Michael nodded. Soft life without responsibility becomes a hard fall. The next morning, Michael hired helpers for his mother. He paid the gateman and cleaned his house. Then he packed Maureen's bags. You will return to your own place, he said gently. No more allowance. No more ATM, Maureen screamed. She begged. She promised to change. Michael looked at her one last time. Change is proven, not spoken. As she walked out, Maureen felt it. For the first time in her life, comfort had walked away, and responsibility was waiting at the door. Michael did not look back. After Maureen left the hospital, she waited for his call. 1 hour passed. 2 hours passed. 1 day passed. Nothing. Her phone stayed silent. No good morning message. No alert. No transfer. For the first time in a long time, Maureen panicked. She tried calling Michael. It rang and rang. No answer. She sent long messages. I'm sorry. I'll change. It was stress. Please forgive me. The messages showed seen, but no reply came back. Michael had made up his mind. He changed his phone number. He blocked her on social media. He informed his family that the engagement was over. Quietly. Firmly. Finally, Maureen went back to Michael's house one last time. Hoping to beg. The gate was locked. A new gateman stood there. Madam, I don't know you, the man said. The words entered her ears and sank into her heart. Reality hit her like cold water. No more monthly money, no more travel, no more soft life. Bills returned like angry visitors. Rent chased her. Electricity knocked. Hunger waited patiently. Her friends stopped calling when she stopped paying bills. Her fake rich circle disappeared. Maureen looked at her long nails and sighed. She sold her bags. She sold her wigs. She sold her perfumes. Still, it was not enough. One afternoon, she saw Michael online, smiling beside Mama Grace, now healthier and stronger. Helpers cleaned the house. Peace filled the room. Maureen felt a deep pain she could not spray away. She whispered to herself, if only I had tried. But life does not rewind. Michael never gave her a second chance, because some tests are written once, and some failures cannot be corrected. Life did not wait for Maureen. After Michael closed his door forever, Maureen met another man named Victor. Victor was rich, but his money had padlock. He was stingy, cold, and proud. He did not shout, but his silence was heavy. He never gave her money for free. He never called her beautiful. He never treated her like a queen. You're lucky I notice you, Victor once said. Maureen swallowed her pride. She needed shelter. She needed food. She needed a restart. Victor allowed her to stay, but with conditions. You will work, he said. Everyone works in my house. Maureen nodded. That same Maureen who hated sweeping now woke up early to clean floors. She washed toilets. She scrubbed plates. She cleaned windows until her hands hurt. Victor treated her like air. Sometimes, like furniture. At first, Maureen cried every night. But slowly, something changed. She began to clean well. She took pride in it. She learned patience. She learned humility. She learned how tiring care truly was. Months later, her body began to pain her. Her back hurt. Her waist burned. The big artificial bum she had done started leaking. She rushed to the hospital in fear. The doctor looked serious. This surgery was badly done, the doctor said. We must remove the artificial fat. Maureen cried quietly in the hospital bed. As they removed it, she felt pain, but also relief. When she looked at herself after healing, she saw her old body again. Simple. Natural. Real. For the first time, Maureen smiled without pretending. She left Victor's house peacefully. No fight. No drama. She rented a small room. She applied for a cleaning job and got it. She cleaned offices, homes, and hospitals. People respected her work. She earned honestly. One evening, she passed a mirror and spoke softly to herself. I was lazy. I lied. I hurt people. But I'm learning now. She went to Mama Grace's street one day but did not enter. She prayed silently and left. Maureen never returned to soft life. But she found something better, peace. And this time, it stayed. Take home moral lesson: money can hide mistakes, but time reveals them. Hard work heals pride. And when life teaches you gently, listen, because the next lesson may not be kind. If this story touched you, please like, share, and drop your thoughts in the comments. I truly want to hear from you. Subscribe to Shishi Fairytales for more stories like this, because we have many more coming just for you. Thank you for watching, thank you for your support, and most of all, I love you. See you in the next story.